When Assassin's Creed Unity launched back in 2014, it was a mess. It was a bit of a joke. It was full of bugs, full of problems. Unity's launch was so disastrous that parts of the game became memes, and Ubisoft's reputation took a pretty big hit. Well, now, over 3 years later, Ubisoft has finally explained what they think went wrong.
Speaking at the Game Developers Conference in San Francisco this week, Ubisoft Creative Director Jean Guston explained how Ubisoft approached development on Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed Unity started development in 2011 and was designed to be the first next-gen iteration in the series for the then unreleased PS4 and Xbox One. Guston said the development situation for Unity was similar to the first AC game, where Ubisoft prioritized technological advancements over content. Guston said, quote, "If you remember Assassin's Creed 1, it had some similarities, actually, because there's a lot of work being done at the very low level in terms of tech. The engine was massively revamped. Still today, Unity is still one of the best looking games ever. We fell again into this trap of working a lot on the tech and not allowing enough time for the teams to create the content to create something new."
I think that's quite obvious, really, just looking back on the way they were promoting the game and stuff, and they kept talking about the crowds. It's like the crowds in there are just like shit hot, man. They're really good crowds, but that's all they were talking about. They were talking about the way the game looks and the world, and that is what Assassin's Creed games are about, like historical tourism, just exploring these kind of cities as they were back in the day. That is really good, but that's like what all of the focus seemed to be on, and not really on advancing the Assassin's Creed formula in any way, freshening up the gameplay or anything. So to hear them say this, they were focusing on the tech and being able to produce things like really good crowds. That is a bit of a problem.
Those crowds, man. And we've been saying for years, obviously, it's one of the Ubisoft things, or Assassin's Creed things, right? The same game year in, year out. It's kind of an acknowledgement here, and a confession, if you like, where they're saying, yeah, we didn't advance the game at all. We were just working on the tech, and we didn't try and think about the gameplay on this. It's like an alcoholic, you might say, who's just woken up from the slumber of being drunk for a certain amount of years. Just my comparison I'm going to throw in there.
Yeah. Guston said while Assassin's Creed Unity was beautiful in terms of art, the team hadn't done enough to make the gameplay fresh. He pointed to a screenshot of the in-game map, which was littered with icons which aren't fully explained to the player, something he believes was a representation of Unity's problems. And to top everything off, Guston pulled up a picture of the now infamous no-face bug and said, quote, "The game suffered from all this. Even if you played it today with the fixes, it's still a very beautiful and very good game, but in short, we probably flew too close to the sun and we were a bit overcome." Well, after the not-so-hot launch of Unity, Guston said Ubisoft decided to put the focus on quality for Syndicate, which, reminder, arrived just the very next year. Guston also touched on the development challenges of Assassin's Creed Origins, which required the team to redefine how the player interacts with an open world.
According to Guston, the team built Origins around 4 priorities: mastering the craft of open world creation, striking a balance between story and players, making it a non-skippable episode for the game's universe, and making it a connected game, even if it didn't have co-op or multiplayer. Guston said it was a cultural shift for the developers as much as a technological one. We should focus on the experience and not the scripting and coding. Players don't care about the code, just their experience. And if sales figures are anything to go by, Ubisoft probably made the right decision, because last year AC Origins sold double the amount of copies at launch than the previous entry, AC Syndicate, back in 2015.
So we all know by now that Assassin's Creed Origins was a big departure, completely changed the formula of the game, the way, exactly like you said, the way you interact with the open world is totally different. That is the kind of redesign that people were talking about with Unity. Like, this is so cookie cutter, and yeah, it looks nice and everything, and so the tech, the crowds are impressive, but they were good.
Beautiful.
It just felt like there was no freshness in there at all, and the fact that they were able to do that with AC Origins, get the great reviews, get the good word of mouth, and then they're going to support it for a long time after launch, that definitely feels like the way forward, and that seems to be what they're going to do as well, because it seems like there's not going to be an Assassin's Creed this year, but there will be one next year, which is a 2-year gap rather than 1-year gap. There you go, that's all it takes.
Other than comparing to a reformed alcoholic again, I don't think I've got much else to say.
Yeah.
No, honestly, that was my bit. That is my contribution to this video.
So there's some inside information on Assassin's Creed Unity and exactly what went wrong in it. Did you play it? Did you enjoy it? Let us know what you think down in the comments below. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, and please do subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this every single day. Now there is that video right there which you can watch right now if you want, and follow the link to Patreon if you want to support the channel. See you next time.